Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesday. This is kind of a feedback video, kind of not. But if you like it, help support this channel, become a monthly patron, patreon.com/LeannaK, because it's not one that's going to search well. I admit I need a break from like the rip from the headline stuff. The gaming stuff's fun, more fun, but it's still kind of contentious. People have strong opinions, and I just know I need a break. So I want to talk about concepts. I want to talk about a concept, an idea. I have this ongoing issue on YouTube because it's like I don't know if you've heard this expression, great minds discuss ideas, mediocre minds discuss, discuss events, right? So great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people. Well, YouTube is a platform for small minds because you do best when you discuss people instead of ideas or events. But I like discussing ideas. So if you do too, please consider becoming a patron because it helps me out. And it means I can do more content like this. But the reason I say it's kind of a feedback thing is I've been noticing a phenomenon going on, and it's causing good people to tell each other where to go. And it's a I don't know whether to call it tactical or structural element of when things like facts, studies, etc., are appropriate to inject into a conversation. Some people would say, well, facts are always appropriate, but they're not. Psychologically, they're not. There's an actual legitimate cognitive bias called the Backfire Effect. And what that means is evidence presented that disproves someone's point of view might cause them to believe it more strongly. This tends to only happen when you are challenging someone's worldview, not, something that they hold sort of near and dear to their hearts. So a lot of people are walking around with some funny worldviews right now because they're engaging in a lot of black or white thinking. But there's also some topics that are just like super duper personal to one participant and kind of an intellectual curiosity to the other. And I'm not saying you're a bad person if you fail to read this correctly. We all do it, okay? But I'm just saying I'm seeing this a lot lately. And like I said, it's causing good people to swear at each other and think they are bad people, and I know they are not. But, I mean, there's been a lot of really dicey, tender topics that have come up of late. We've gotten race relations and racism, transgender rights, and gay rights, all within less than a week. 3 weeks if you want to be really super generous. That is a lot of tender ground to be walking on at the same time. And you would think it goes without saying that you understand that a trans person is going to take trans issues more personally than a cisgender person. A black person is going to take the issue of anti-black racism much more seriously than someone of another race. Like, these are common sense, right? But you don't see that common sense exhibited when someone is helpfully presenting facts in their direction. And there's a problem with facts in those particular instances, and it's just because facts in a lot of those cases are incomplete data. We don't know enough. We have basic ideas. We, know about crime statistics and poverty, or to put it more without going down a rabbit hole, We know what the data is. We don't know why the data reads that way. And it's that why that we're still collectively figuring out. And if you say, no, we know. No, you are oversimplifying this. We really don't. It's very difficult when you're taking, a lower income neighborhood in the US and deciding whether it's a race thing, it's a poverty thing, it's a both thing, et cetera, right? Because, it's everything, right? And to say it's one thing, no expert on any issue will tell you it's one thing, cut and dried, problem solved. Because guess what? If it was that simple, if it was one thing, cut and dried, problem solved, the problem would be solved. These are complex problems precisely because they're layered. And so bombarding a person with facts when they are telling you their experience doesn't work. Like, I actually watched very well-meaning people tell a black person this week who was talking about their unease with police, their feelings, qualitative about police, about their personal feelings towards police. And well-meaning people started bombarding them with data about how more white people get shot by police per year than black people. That's profoundly unhelpful, okay? That does not change a person's mind. That is a shining example of a backfire effect. Because you start bombarding somebody with facts when they're talking about their feelings, they're just going to close up and think you're an asshole. Because in fairness, you're kind of being an asshole at that moment. If somebody makes a statement of fact, okay, you can counter with a fact. But if somebody is saying, I feel this, and not in the backhanded putting I feel in front of a factual argument to try to get away with murder, I'm not talking about that. If somebody's saying, I feel scared when I'm stopped by the police, no matter how much data you bombard them with, it's not going to make them any less afraid. It's just not, okay? That's just one example, okay? Another example, a trans person saying, J.K. Rowling really hurt my feelings with what she wrote. Bombarding them with your alleged facts on sexual dimorphism and gender, that doesn't change anything, okay? It doesn't. Their feelings were hurt. If someone communicates feelings, deal with feelings. But, and this is interesting. I've been looking this stuff up and talking to a few people and things like that, because we all know it's not so simple as sorry you feel that way. That's a kiss off, right? They have actually found, and this is the part that's interesting to me, and this is what I think is feeding into the problem. HR experts have actually found that when someone comes in with a grievance and they're just placated, they actually get angrier and their demands get more extreme. There's a big difference between placating someone and actually listening to them. And people, even if they can't put it to words, know when they're being placated. And probably a lot of people are watching this video right now going, because there's a lot of placating going on. It happened to me, I don't remember if it was last week or this week, because I admit I just didn't respond. Because I was going to tear the guy a new one, because I'm sorry you felt that way drives me nuts, because it's inauthentic. And there's even like the ally tone, as I call it. If anyone starts something with, I've always considered myself an ally, I am not going to have a good reaction to anything else they're saying, because it's irrelevant to the conversation we're having right now. I don't give a damn how this person considers themselves, right? Either they behaved appropriately in this particular instance, or they didn't. And so I can talk about the fact that the minute someone pulls an I'm sorry you felt that way, or I've always considered myself an ally, but those are signs of placating, and I get pissed off. And I think that in cases like LGBTQ plus stuff, race issues, I think that's part of the reason people are so angry right now, is that they have been placated, or there's been attempts at placating them instead of really listening to them for so long, that they are so angry and so aggrieved that on the one hand, they just, the minute they actually have somebody engage, that person gets up, bah, like an angry rabbit, right? Just because, oh my God, somebody's finally engaging, right? You know, instead of racism's bad, okay, what like every company in the freaking world has done on Instagram in the last 2 weeks. So there's some of that, and that's not fair to the person on the receiving end of that, but it is human. But then, of course, when there's been that blah, and then someone's like, I don't know why you're so angry, here's all the data, then the backfire effect kicks in, right? And so the problem is that the fight starts because somebody does something right for a change. But then they do something very, very wrong because they're not, reading the online room effectively, for a lack of a better term. And so it ends up going bad. And that's really unfortunate because the whole thing started off with really good intentions. Like, the person actually gave a damn enough to engage, which was a great first step. And that person ended up paying for all the other times somebody has just placated someone on this issue. And that waves of placating has left us in a very, very difficult spot. And because of that, I'm suggesting that right now might not be the time for a heavy data-driven approach. Right now is about listening and understanding the other person's perspective. That is more important than this is what the facts say right now. Not because facts aren't important. You guys know facts are very important to me. Me likey facts. Facts is delicious, okay? But there's a time. And if it's just going to backfire, there's no point. And trust me, as a nerd, this is something I've had to learn. When someone's talking about their feelings, don't give them facts. Even though you are practicing empathy. And in that position, facts would make you feel better. Keep in mind that you, like me, are atypical. Welcome to the club. Not everybody is consoled by facts. Most people aren't. So just listen and ask questions about why people hold the beliefs they do. I guarantee you it'll be a much better result. Now, the problem is some people may not give a damn, okay? Because there are a lot of people, not just those groups, but people with disabilities, people on the autism spectrum, people with like a whole bunch of other things who have been largely ignored for quite some time now. Unless somebody wants to make fun of them on a Chuck Lorre sitcom. So that atypical people can get a chuckle. They're angry too, for the same reason that they're being insulted and placating in equal measure. So you got all these people who want to be heard. I get why people don't want to listen. Because nobody's listened to them, or they don't feel listened to anyway. It's got to start somewhere though. So if you've got the gas in the tank, if you've got the energy, take some time and listen. If you don't have that, you don't have to respond. But whatever you do, if somebody's talking about their feelings, don't hit them with facts. Like, please, there'll be time for that. Okay? If you found this useful, help support this channel, become a monthly patron, patreon.com/LeannaK. Thanks for watching.